Hi YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I want to tell you guys about an opportunity to interact more with me. Contact me, ask me a special question through this very unique and great way called Truly. Click the custom link in my description down below and sign up for Truly. And once you get to my profile, you'll be directed to a button that says Ask Me. And then you'll be able to ask me a question and we can interact more. It's a really great way to further our communication together. I hope that I get your support to go ahead and click the link down below, and let's get started with the Truly app. And with that, let's see the video for today. Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. Really good story today. I think we're going to start seeing more people who really understand what is going on to contribute to what we're seeing with these royals, and to really bring more insight into what they are trying to do from a more ethnic position. Because when you are someone of color, you just have those certain experiences that can bring truth to what this couple is trying to perpetrate. And, you know, some people say, well, why don't we just stop talking about them? Well, why don't they just stop being in the news? Why don't they stop trying to get over on the things that they're putting out there with their public relations? Because I think as long as they are putting out stories to try to give a narrative to their deceit, we really do have to speak about it. It just has to be spoken about, because if not, they're being allowed to go out and get away with things that are complete lies, and they need to be checked. Being realistic about skin color of the Duke and Duchess's baby, says John Barnes. And I'm so glad this came out where he wrote about this. So he says, most black people think, so what about questioning someone's skin color? Yeah, because we wonder, we thinking, okay, if I'm the mama and you the daddy, what that baby gonna look like? Should I make babies with you? Are my babies gonna come out cute if I make babies with you? Like, people always trying to figure out what my baby gonna look like. They speculating all day long on this, right? There ain't nothing unusual about that. You know, when Meghan and Harry were doing that, you know, John Barnes was like, and he saw that was not a big deal, but we can see that they tried to make it a big deal to bring controversy, to add to their narrative that we want to leave the royal family. They had to get something that was going to be legitimate and validate them. I've said it once, I've said it before. That's just how it was, what they tried to do. So Barnes is the former professional football player who has written a book about racism. He would expect the conversation to have happened, arguing that people will always wonder, you know, what will the baby look like? So the father of 7, who is married to a white woman, said the member of the royal family who allegedly asked the question would have been aware of how the public would view the child. Harry and Meghan, we know they went on and they spoke with Oprah, talking about what one of the royals said in a conversation that only Harry heard, not Meghan. And Harry told his wife. So that conversation, Harry added, I am never going to share. Then why you say something? Why did she bring it up? Okay, that's just me right there. At the time, it was awkward, and I was a bit shocked, said Harry. So in the interview that led to the calls for the royal racist to be named, the Duke of Cambridge, he was asked in public about the allegations, and he answered, we are very much not a racist family. In an interview about his new book, The Uncomfortable Truth About Racism, Barnes said he watched the interview at home with his wife. And he told the Sunday Times magazine, you speak to most black people and they'll say, yeah, so what? I would expect that conversation to be had by the family. Because it's like, if we're going to get married, I'm black, you white, how dark is that baby going to be? Or how light is that baby going to be? Why, if you say how dark is the baby going to be, or concerns about if the baby's dark, I mean, that's a legitimate concern, because you ain't never had someone like in your generation having a baby with somebody that is of color. You gonna question this, and no one's saying it's a bad thing. No one's saying it, because let's just put it like this: if the color of the child's skin was going to be an issue, the girl wouldn't have married the man. Let's just say it right there, because we know what comes after a wedding: the babies. And we know that a baby was going to come. So them getting married would have been stopped. They would have been saying, well, shoot, we ain't going to let her marry him, because we know that baby going to come out looking like X, Y, and Z. So no, Harry, you ain't marrying her. That's what would have happened well before the marriage, the engagement even happened. At this point, when the girls got the baby in the oven, it's a little too late to be questioning that in a way that would make you really concerned. You would simply be talking about it as conversation at this point if the baby's already due to be arriving within the family. If you listen to what Meghan says, it's not about them, the unnamed royal, worrying if the baby is dark or not. It's them worrying about how the public are going to view that. Because they know if the baby is too dark, the public will not view the baby as positively. They are being realistic. So let's not pretend the public won't care whether it's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed baby or jet black, because they will. Of the Duke and Duchess, that he added, I'm not a big fan of theirs. A lot of black people I know aren't. The problem now is that if you don't like her, people will call you a racist when it has absolutely nothing to do with that. That is why it is important to separate the idea of racism and character as a human being. You have to separate the two, because they're completely different. The character is what is more often than not is what is discussed, and it has nothing to do with racism. Personally, I'm not for or against the royal family. They stole what they stole in the last 1,000 years of whatever. But we are where we are today. So I like what John Barnes had to say. He basically was just, it's just at this point, it just doesn't matter. And people really need to look at Meghan's character. And this brings me to my other point about what I wanted to talk about. We have a lot of people who just do not understand what is going on. And they wonder, well, why are you talking about that? And leave her alone. Or they'll interject some information. And it really is, if you really don't know what's going on, if you don't understand the stories behind the commentary that I give, then you should just butt out. You should not even listen to what I have to say, because you don't even have the inside information. All you want to do is look at the color of somebody's skin, and you want to say what I need to do. But I've done my homework. I've looked at the stories that have been reported on by reputable reporters, and stories that are very likely to have happened because they have good sources attached to them. This is not gossip. This is not hate. This is simply looking at the stories that are reported and watching the actions of said couple, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and looking at what they do and basing an opinion on their behavior. That is what I do. Base my opinions on their behavior, and how they can get better. Because if they watched my channel, they could see and learn how to be better. So it's not about hating on anybody, which gets nobody anywhere in the long run. But what can happen is you can learn to correct your behavior and be better. It's as simple as that. And we should all be trying to better ourselves and how we walk in this world. I mean, at the end of the day, what I say It's not really hurting anybody, but it can help make the Duke and Duchess of Sussex a little better. Yeah, it can make them a little bit better if they watch my channel. I would have to agree with that. 100. Because they need to start paying attention to things that just might be a little bit uncomfortable for them to hear. Because if you continue walking in your stench, then you ain't gonna know when you have a stench to other people, because you in your own stench. So you need to step out of your own stench and start walking outside of it, so you can get a whiff, ooh, or something that you didn't even know was there.